Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to ENL. I hope everyone is happy and healthy and having a good time at home. Today, we're going to get right back into the NYSESLAT review. Last week, I gave you the NYSESLAT example test from last year, just to get a feel about how it would have been this week if these last 2 weeks if we had not been doing online remote learning, if we'd been in school. This test is nothing to be concerned about, nothing to worry about. Just give it your best. It doesn't show anything except it shows me how you would have done in a testing situation, which shows us where you would have been going next year with regards to what level of ESL you would have been, or whether you would have passed out of ESL completely. So you finished doing the reading and the listening section and the writing section. They're due this week. Hopefully everyone's been working on those. If you haven't finished the reading section, please probably don't watch this today because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go through the answers. And I do want a genuine response. I want to see how you would have done. It doesn't matter if you scored 1 out of 7 or 7 out of 7. Let's just measure your progress, see where you are according to an exam. Okay, so what I'm going to do, if you see me looking down, I've printed out the reading section. Today, I'm going to spend 15-20 minutes going through the reading section. And I'm going to go through each question, and I'm going to go through the choices one by one. And we're going to have a really good look at it. And I'm going to show you how, with my mind, I would have answered the questions. And perhaps it will help you going into the future. And just show the rhythm of the test. Like pull it apart and show how to make it maybe a little bit easier for you guys. Okay? First thing I'm going to do is read out what you had to read, which is this part about the school system in Germany and China. Okay, so sharing ideas. Now the first part of this is there is a table. The country, Germany, China. For Germany, the idea is kindergarten and physical education. How the US adopted the idea. So kindergarten was a German idea, kindergarten. The US school system added kindergarten classes. Germany had physical education. US schools added gyms for exercising and sports. What about China? What did we get from China? Well, China, the idea was farming. US farmers adopted new farming methods. China, food. Businesses began selling Chinese food. So obviously, before I've even read it, I can see that this is going to be about something to do with taking ideas or sharing ideas with other countries. Okay, so let's have a look. Immigrants from many countries have moved to the United States. Immigrants are people who move to new countries to make a new home and start a new life. They take their cultural ideas to new places with them. Cultural ideas are beliefs, feelings, and ways of doing things. Many of the cultural ideas brought to the United States are now part of American life. For example, German immigrants brought their ideas about education to the United States many years ago. People in Germany placed a high value on education. Their ideas affected the American school system. German immigrants started the first American kindergarten in 1855. Kindergarten classes already existed in Germany. Today, kindergarten continues to be an important part of the American school system. German immigrants had other ideas about schools too. They believed in physical education in schools. Because of their ideas, gyms were also built in American schools. So if you like gym class and you like kindergarten, you can thank the Germans. Other examples of new cultural ideas brought to the United States are those from Chinese immigrants. Some ideas they shared long ago were good ways of farming. Their methods of farming were very successful in China. They brought these ideas to the United States and shared them with other people. In addition, Chinese ideas about food have also become a big part of American life. For example, Chinese food is popular in many restaurants and homes in the United States. These are examples of ideas that have come to the United States from only two other countries, Germany and China. Many more ideas from many more countries and cultures have also become an important part of American life. Whenever people move from place to place, they take their culture with them. They share ideas from their culture, and those ideas spread to many other people in their new home. Okay, so question 7. Now, question 7 begins with read these sentences again. Now, you're going to see that a lot in the NYSESLAT and the ESL exam. It will pull out the lines it wants you to look at in order to answer the question. Now, be careful. Some students then go, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I don't need to. That's not true. Number 1, they don't always give you the lines they want to look at. Number 2, reading the entire thing gives you context. It means that you could answer the question even before you've read those specific lines. It gives you a massive advantage if you take the time to read the passage. Please read the passage once, twice. We'll talk in class about how many times, but please at least give yourself a chance by reading it once. Don't think you're being the clever guy, the clever girl by not reading the passage in the beginning. I promise you, that's how some students end up getting questions wrong. So let's see what it says. Read these sentences again. Immigrants are people who move to new countries to make a new home and start a new life. They, and they is underlined, so that's something we need to look out for. They take their cultural ideas to new places with them. Which word helps tell the meaning of they? Okay, let's look at it. The first option is A, countries. Okay, well, we could say countries. We could say they for countries. Let's replace the word with that word. So instead of saying they take their cultural ideas to new places with them, let's say countries take their cultural ideas to new places with them. Well, do countries go to new places? It doesn't sound right. I mean, they could be countries, but when you put it in the sentence, it doesn't sound right. Let's look at B. People. Let's put it in the sentence. People take their cultural ideas to new places with them. Well, that sounds good to me. That sounds good. B is a strong contender. But we've still got to see the other ones. C, places. I don't think this is going to work, but let's try. Places take their cultural ideas to the new place with them. That was a mess. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Okay. D, ideas. Ideas take their cultural ideas to new places with them. That doesn't make sense either. It can't be C or D. A, it could have been, but it doesn't sound right. A country can't take its cultural idea to another place. People. It's B. It's people. Okay? Excellent. Oh, 1 second. Let me pause. I'm sorry about that. I just had to answer the door. Okay, so let's go to question 8. Read these sentences again. So once again, it's asking us to read these sentences. Okay? German immigrants had other ideas about schools too. They believed in physical education in schools. Because of their ideas, gyms were also built in American schools. Which words show what German immigrants believed in? Is it A, about schools, B, physical education, C, American because of their ideas, or D, American schools? So let's have another look. Which word shows what German immigrants believed in? I'm going to read it one more time. German immigrants had other ideas about schools too. They believed in physical education in schools. They believed in physical physical education in schools. That tells us. So, is it A, did they believe about schools? Yeah, they did, but in this context, I don't think that's what they're asking. B, did they believe in physical education? They believed in physical education. Yes. C, because of their ideas. D, American. No, it's B, physical education. Give me one more second, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Question 9. Read these sentences again. For example, German immigrants brought their ideas about education to the United States many years ago. People in Germany placed a high value on education. Their ideas affected the American school system. German immigrants started the first American kindergarten in 1855. Kindergarten classes already existed in Germany. Today, kindergarten continues to be an important part of the American school system. Which phrase tells when German immigrants brought their ideas about education to the United States? So, the key word in this question is when. Okay? Which phrase tells when German immigrants brought their ideas about education to the United States? Now, before we go into the possible answers, in the NYSESLAT, a lot of times they ask you a when, why, what, where, how, which. They use those question words to ask a question. And as long as you can recognize what the word is asking, then you are okay. Okay? So in this case, when we ask a question about when, we are talking about a time. We're talking a time. Now, time can be a lot of different things. It can be Monday the 5th of April. It can be 10:30 a.m. It can be now or later. When can be a lot of things. So we need to watch out for something that is time related. You ready? Okay, let's do this. So which phrase tells when German immigrants brought their ideas about education to the United States? A, many years ago. Is that a when answer? Yeah. Yeah, when did it happen? Many years ago. Okay, that's a strong contender from the beginning, but we still have to look at all the other answers because there might be a stronger answer there. B, placed a high value. If you said when did something happen and someone said placed a high value, does that answer the question? No, it's gibberish. It makes no sense. Okay? Gibberish is an English phrase probably. C, today kindergarten. Okay, today is when. Today is a when answer, so it could be C. D, continues to be. When did you do your homework? Continues to be. Makes no sense. So it's not B or D. We know it's not B or D. It's either A, many years ago, or C, today, kindergarten. So I'm going to read the question again. Which phrase tells when German immigrants brought their ideas about education to the United States? So let's ask the question and then answer it. When did German immigrants bring their ideas about education to the United States? A, many years ago. That sounds good. That sounds strong. Let's try it with C. When did German immigrants bring their ideas about education to the United States? Today, kindergarten. Not really. Today is a when answer and kindergarten is what they brought, but they didn't bring it today. This has been going since 1855. No, that doesn't work. Even though it's a when answer, it doesn't work in this scenario. So we're going to go with A, many years ago. And that is the answer. Okay? Right, question 10. 3 more to go. Once again, read these sentences again. Okay, and there's an underlined word that we need to know the meaning of. Okay? Other examples of new cultural ideas brought to the United States are those from Chinese immigrants. Some ideas they shared long ago were good ways of farming. Their methods, and methods is underlined, so listen up. Their methods of farming were very successful in China. They brought these ideas to the United States and shared them with other people. Which word helps explain the meaning of methods? A. Immigrants. So let's take the word and swap it out. So they're saying, what's another way of saying methods? So we know there's a sentence using methods. We can just swap them in and out, see if that works. So A, we're going to put it in, their methods of farming were very successful in China. Their immigrants of farming were very successful in China. Well, that doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense. They're immigrants. An immigrant is someone who comes from another country. No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so it's not A. B, B is successful. B, they're successful of farming were very successful in China. You can't have a successful. Successful describes something else. So you can't just, successful, no. B, no. Let's go to C, ways. Their ways of farming were very successful in China. Ways make sense. Their ways. Their ways. The way they do it. The way you do it. The way I do it. The ways. That's a good one. D, people. Their people of farming were very successful in China. Does it? Could work if it was bad English, but we know this is going to be good English. This is perfect English. They're not going to make a mistake. So you could say the people who farmed were very successful in China, but you couldn't say their people of farming were very successful in China. So it's going to be C. Their ways of farming were very successful in China. Now you notice that question involves a couple of things. Number one, it involves you being able to see what is a good sentence in English, what is a bad sentence in English, and that comes with time. Number two, it involves knowing a few words, knowing vocabulary. You need to know what immigrants are, successful, ways, people. You need to know these words, okay? And number three, understanding context. So where does this sentence come? Like once you've read the whole thing, the whole article, the whole passage, you get context on what they're talking about, the bigger picture, and that helps, okay? So there is a way, and the full thing, by the way, is time. That took me a good 5-6 minutes. But you know what you have in the ESL exam, the NYSESLAT? Time. You have so much time. You do not have that as an excuse. You have as long as you need. Okay? Question 11. Last two. I'm getting excited. Read these sentences again. See that little phrase again. Now it begins with in addition, and in addition is underlined. In addition, Chinese ideas about food have also become a big part of American life. So, in addition, which word helps tell the meaning of in addition? So, maybe we can swap and replace like we did last time with the last question. Maybe that will work. So, in addition, Chinese ideas about food have also become part of American life. A, also, Chinese ideas about food have become a big part of American life. Okay. B, example. Example, Chinese ideas about food have also become a big part of American life. Now, if it said for example, that might be one thing, but it just says example. So the English isn't good. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't look good. So it's not example. C, popular, Chinese ideas about food have also become a big part of American life. Now, popular Chinese ideas about food have also become a big part of American life. Does that fit in the sentence? Kind of. But there's a reason why I wouldn't like it. We're going to come back to it. D, many Chinese ideas about food have also become a part of American life. So this is a difficult one because you have 3 possible answers. Number 2, B, we're going to take out. That's an X. No. But we have A, also Chinese ideas about food have also become a big part of American life. C, popular Chinese ideas about food have also become a big part of American life. Or D, many Chinese ideas about food have become a big part of American life. There are two important parts to this question. Number one is how how the sentence is created, the structure of the sentence. I'm going to show you something. After the in addition, there is a comma. There is a comma. Comma means we take a little pause, we take a little breath. In addition, Chinese ideas about food have also become a big part of American life. So, instead of saying in addition, we say also. So, we've got to include the comma. So, also, Chinese ideas about food have become a big part of American life. That works. Let's try C. Popular Chinese ideas about food. That doesn't work. Because if you put popular, it would belong with Chinese. Popular Chinese ideas. Not popular Chinese ideas. No. D. Many Chinese ideas about... No. Same thing. The structure of the sentence doesn't allow those two words, C and D. Now this is where it's complicated. This would be much easier in person. I'm sorry. But I did at least want to tell you when we're back in class, whenever that is, I will show you properly. We'll do a lesson on it. Also, the second thing, so the structure doesn't work for B, C, or D. And the second thing is, it also doesn't mean in addition. In addition means furthermore. If I was going to say more, oh, I have something else to say. And the only word that helps you to say, oh, excuse me, I have something else to say. Imagine if you were telling your teacher why you should have a higher grade, and you went, this and this and this. And they went, is that it? And you went, no. You wouldn't say many, you wouldn't say popular, you wouldn't say example, you would say also. In addition, also, you should know that I helped in the cafeteria and I should get a higher grade. Also, I'm very well behaved, so you should give me a higher grade. Okay, so the answer is A, also. But that was a tricky question. But once again, if you know how the structures of English work, so you know when a comma is and a period and what it means, and also if your vocabulary is expanding and you know more and more words, then you might automatically know the answer. So it's easy if you know it, which is a crazy way of saying it. Okay, final question. Question 12. The passage says, whenever people move from place to place, they take their culture with them. Which sentence from the passage supports this statement? So the passage says, whenever people move from place to place, they take their culture with them. Which sentence from the passage supports this statement? A. People in Germany placed a high value on education. Well, that's true. That's true. But that doesn't mean they brought it here. That's a true statement from what they're saying in the... I'm sorry. My kids just got up. That's a statement from the article and it's true. B. Other examples of new cultural ideas brought to the United States are those from Chinese immigrants. C. Immigrants from many countries have moved to the United States. D. Their methods of farming were very successful in China. So the question says, whenever people move from place to place, they take their culture with them. Which sentence from the passage supports this statement? So all these sentences are true. They're all in the passage you read. So they're trying to trick you. So you see one you recognize, oh, it's that one. No, they're not asking which one of these details are from the passage. All of them are. It's asking which one supports the statement, agrees with the statement. And the statement is, whenever people move from place to place, they take their culture with them. So A, people in Germany placed a high value on education. That is true. But it doesn't help support that people take their culture with them. Other examples of new cultural ideas brought to the United States are those from Chinese immigrants. Okay, That's an interesting one. It might be that one. C, immigrants from many countries have moved to the United States. Okay, that's true, but does it really answer the question? D, their methods of farming were very successful in China. That's true too, but does it support the statement whenever people move from place to place, they take their culture with them? I'm looking at B and C to answer this. I've got rid of A, I've got rid of D. I'm looking at B or C. So let's look at B again. Other examples of new cultural ideas brought to the United States are those from Chinese immigrants. C, immigrants from many countries have moved to the United States. C is true, but it doesn't really support the statement that people take their culture with them. It just says that people move. It doesn't really say they take their culture with them. B, other examples of new cultural ideas brought to the United States are those from Chinese immigrants. Chinese people have come here, they've brought new cultural ideas. That supports the statement. So the answer for that is B. Okay? So, not an easy test. Not an easy test by far. Don't think it's meant to be easy. If this is different from social studies, from ELA, from any other subject. Why? Because this test is not designed to see your knowledge in that it wants you to get 7 out of 7, 100%. If you're getting 100%, that's fantastic, but that means if you get 100% in all these tests, if we were really doing the exam, you would be out of ESL next year. You wouldn't need me anymore, which is brilliant. But this also takes time. So if you got 1 right or 2 right, then good on you. Well done. Let's build on that. If you got more than you think you would have got last year, if you think you've improved, I can think of several students who hopefully are watching this right now who have improved so much with their reading level. Then fantastic. Excellent. Well done. You deserve a pat on the back. Truly, you do. So this isn't a gotcha. This isn't to catch you out. This is just to show where we are and how we're going to move forward going on into the September months and after. So thank you for listening. I know this was a long video and I know there were interruptions and I had to pause it, so I do apologize. Have a fantastic day, and I will do a video on the listening and the reading later on in the week. Okay, bye.